Welcome back to Grumpy Vet Garage. Today we're going to be doing a repair on our 2022 Kia Telluride. This vehicle has about 48,000 miles on it, just under, but it's developed an oil leak. Unfortunately, this leak is actually very common on these Kia Tellurides, and while the vehicle is still under factory warranty, you got to remember that you got to drop a vehicle off, leave it there maybe a day or two or longer for them to make this repair, when honestly it's actually a pretty easy repair that you could do at home if you so choose. So quickly, the leak is the oil filter housing where it mates to the block. That gasket has failed. We probably could access this from the bottom of the car, the same panel you would remove for an oil change, but we're going to go ahead and get the car into the garage, pull the passenger side tire so that we can try to get access to the engine from the passenger side. Okay, so it's in the garage. Took off the passenger side wheel because we're trying to get into this area right here. Actually, if I pan back, you can actually see right through there is the area we're trying to get to. So down here, this is a very normal view if you've ever changed oil on a Kia Telluride. Also, I'll link how to change oil on this vehicle. I already made a video on that. But as you can see, there's oil here and oil coming off the oil filter housing, which might make you think that this is leaking, but you can see that the oil is actually coming from above. Without the camera, it's very easy to see that above the oil filter housing is dry and below it is wet and leaking oil. I'll show it to you once we get the fender liner out, but we need to go ahead and remove the entire fender liner so that we can get access to the oil filter housing. So looking at the fender liner, it's a combination of these push pins, so some sort of trim removal tool to pop those out. On the back side, it has Phillips screws, so a Phillips screwdriver. And then there are two plastic nuts that are 14 millimeter. Okay, so now with all the clips and the plastic nuts and the Phillips screws in the back removed, we can then pull away this fender liner and find a whole bunch of leaves. Now it appears in the front I've missed some fasteners, so I'm going to go ahead and move the camera over and see what's still holding the fender liner on in the front. Okay, so I cleaned that out, but wow, that's a lot. Pretty thick too, so we're talking pretty high. So definitely clean out that area whenever you have access to it. Okay, looking from front to back, this panel right here is the panel that you normally remove for an oil change. The panel that it attaches to in this front corner is another 10 millimeter. Go ahead and remove that, and then this should come free. Okay, so last 10 millimeter removed, and it is free. Now we can go ahead and just grab the fender liner, pull it out, and then set it aside. Now we have great access to this area, and this is where we're trying to work. Coming in tight here, you can see, like I was saying, above, this is completely dry, but below it is not. So this is where we're getting the leak. And again, this is a very common space to get a leak. Reason being, everything I'm seeing is it's a temperature change. So very cold temperatures, say in the 20s or below, it causes the seal to shrink. Granted, I'm here in South Carolina. You wouldn't think the cold would affect the vehicle as much, but we have been getting some cold temperatures here early in the winter, more like 20 degrees at night, but not like sustained 20s. So I'm a little disappointed that it failed, and especially seeing as how we're only like 48,000 miles. But again, common issue, and we need to remove this to change the gasket. I'm going to be doing this as part of my normal oil change interval. So I'm going to drain oil, remove the cap off the oil filter housing. But if you chose to do it without that, expect there's going to be some leakage, of course. But you could do this without changing the oil. Say you just changed your oil not that long ago. But these 4 bolts that hold this on are going to be 12 millimeter. But I'm going to go ahead and do my oil drain, and I'm going to remove this filter, and then we'll come back and remove these 4 12 millimeter bolts. Okay, so I went ahead and drained oil. I went ahead and drained oil from the oil filter housing as well. Put the filter back in, the old one. just so we're not having leaks from multiple places when we take it apart. Expect that when you remove this, that oil is going to drip down. So go ahead and put your pan, oil drip pan underneath that. Okay, so they're 12 millimeters, so I'll break them loose first. I'm pretty sure all these bolts are the same length, but when you remove them, just make sure to kind of keep them in order so you know which goes where. And all the bolts are the same length, so there's no concern of getting them mixed up. This sealing surface looks pretty good. You really don't want to take anything aggressive to this to clean it. Wiping this down is going to be sufficient. So don't take anything crazy. Nothing that you don't want to put a scratch anywhere on this surface because you want the O-ring to be able to seal. Okay, so flipping around the oil filter housing, this is the gasket that we need to change, and it does look super flat. So we need to go ahead and pull this out, and I'll show you the new one. Okay, so I went ahead and pulled the old seal out. I'm going to put it next to the new seal that I have, new one. And again, I'll leave a link in the video description for this seal and really everything you need. But when you put it side by side, you can really see the amount of compression over time that's happened on that seal and how much thinner it is. So it wasn't making contact anymore. It had shrunk from just so many heat cycles. So this is definitely smoke and gun for the problem we're having. So I went ahead and wiped down the oil filter housing. I don't really want to take any kind of like crazy chemicals to this to clean it. It's okay, there's a little bit of residue oil in there, but just take the seal, lightly lubricated, and then press it into the groove on the oil filter housing. And you'll see immediately when you're installing it, it's probably hard to see on camera, how much more proud this sticks out from the surface. So this is definitely going to seal much better than the flat O-ring that was on there. Okay, so I put a little bit of oil, new oil, on the new seal just to lubricate it as we install it. I also went ahead and put a little bit of blue Loctite on each individual bolt. They're not going into anything that needs to be sealed, but a little bit of Loctite just make sure nothing's going to vibrate loose. So from the removal, we know that all the bolts are the same length. So there's no worry about getting them mixed up, but go ahead and thread them in by hand. And you always want to start by threading something in by hand compared to coming in with tools. You don't want to cross thread this because it would turn a very easy job into a bear of a job. Okay, and as far as torquing these bolts, all of them are torqued to 15 foot-pounds or 180 inch-pounds. Kind of like to do like a cross, like an X pattern, coming across to slowly tighten it down before engaging it with the torque wrench. Okay, so they're all down snug using the tool. Now we can come in the X pattern. So I was going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then torque them to 180 inch-pounds. Okay, that's the first torque. I'm going to go ahead and let it sit there for a second, just to let it compress, kind of figure out where it wants to be, and then come back and do a second torque of 180 inch-pounds. Okay, second torque is done. Okay, so now that we're done, we need to either, one, finish up your oil change, like I'm already halfway through the oil change, I need to finish it up, or you would want to check engine oil level, but we also need to go ahead and just put back everything. So we need to go ahead and put back the fender liner, we need to go ahead and put our tire back on, torque it, and put it back on the ground. Okay, so the Kia's back together, put back in the fender liner, tires back on, everything's back on the ground. Topped off with oil, very important. Know where you are in that process as far as oil change, or whether or not you just need to check the oil level after doing the repair, but it's all good now. I definitely feel like this is a repair that you can do in your garage. It took me a few hours to do with the filming. If I wasn't filming, I'm quite sure I could get this done in like an hour, hour and a half tops. With this job being so easy, what I don't want to do is gloss over the fact that this Telluride has 48,000 miles, in my opinion, that seal should not be letting go at 48,000 miles. I think if I was an isolated incident of this where it wasn't a whole lot of Telluride owners or other Hyundai and Kia owners in general having this issue, then I would say, well, it's just, a freak thing that happened. But it seems to be happening relatively consistently. Am I going to need to change this again at 100,000 miles if I keep this Kia? I don't think that's really good. So I don't want to harp on it and make it seem like this Kia is terrible, because my wife really enjoys driving it. It's a very comfortable vehicle, but seals should not be letting go under 50,000 miles. So I just wanted to say that. I don't really want to just bash Kia, but it doesn't seem right. But if you got any questions about this repair, again, relatively easy. But if you have any questions, by all means, leave a comment. I love reading comments from you guys. I'd be more than happy to help if I can. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to Grumpy Vet Garage, liking this video, sharing this video. To support the channel, we have a Grumpy Vet Garage merch store and affiliate marketing links in the video description. Using those links to make any purchase directly supports the channel. If you want to contact me, you can do so through the comment section of this video or through our Facebook or Instagram page. Link is in the video description. But as always, thanks for coming and seeing me in my garage. And until next time, have a good one.